Hello and welcome to Demon Interviews, episode 193. I don't know which Pokemon that is, but it's probably Generation 2. Um, I'm your host, as always, Springy, and joining us today is our very special guest.
Hello, my name is Lexi, also known as CJCosplayy on every social media platform that I currently have.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I'm very happy to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
Well, first I want to ask, have you ever been interviewed like this before?
I have not. This is actually my first interview like this.
Ooh. Well, we're happy to introduce you to the world of interviewing.
Yeah, I'm excited. I saw one of my best friends, Darkman of the Goth,
Mm-hmm.
uh, also known as my cosplay husband. And she refers to me as her cosplay wife. So I saw her interview and I was just like, oh, she's getting all the recognition that she deserves. So
Mm-hmm.
love the play.
Oh, I 100% agree.
Mm-hmm.
And we're actually planning because like Mina is like our Halloween expert.
Yeah,
Um, so
100%.
we're 100% having her on doing another Halloween thing. As this recording coming out would be next 2 weeks when something's coming out. Maybe we haven't even planned a date on recording yet, so maybe I shouldn't say exactly what week it's coming out, huh?
She doesn't appear like an entity. You just say her name 3 times and she just pops
Appears
out. Yeah.
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird that happens all the time too. Just boom. Imagine I remember to edit and I just put up a picture. Just boom. Uh, um. Oh, something I forgot to ask is how are you doing today?
I'm good. I finished up work for the week and I am going to be going on a little mini vacation next week with my partner to go visit my home state, to stay with friends next week. So I am very excited to have some much needed time off.
Awesome. Awesome. Time off is just the best thing ever.
Yes. With how busy my work schedule is, absolutely.
Yes. Oh man. So first thing, ignore the other two. This is the first question. Uh, would you rather eat Cheetos or go on a hike?
Can I eat Cheetos while on a hike?
That's the secret third answer.
There you go. Yeah, I'll do that. Like a little break snack.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Perfect. You don't gotta keep up the energy.
exactly.
Don't drop the bag of Cheetos on the floor though.
Absolutely not.
Uh, so people can assume from your username,
Mhm,
or if they're coming from your side of the internet,
mhm.
or they have just seen a lot of our videos where 95% of the time it's a cosplayer. Um, you are in fact a cosplayer. Is there any new cosplays that you're planning on doing that you're able to tell us about without me giving you a small fee of $5?
Um, well, I recently went to C2E2 in Chicago, back in the end of March, beginning of April, where I debuted my Wanda Maximoff from Multiverse of Madness.
Ooh.
Loved that one. That one was fun. I definitely want to update her a touch, and just really just go for more of the dreamscape version. Spoiler if you haven't seen the movie, which you should have already, but when she's kind of zombified, I would love to do that
Oh.
for the Halloween season. Um, Another one I'm working on currently. Uh, oh gosh, it's so hard to pick some. I've recently become obsessed with, well, not recently, but book talk, as big and huge as it is on
Mm-hmm.
TikTok. I've recently finished the A Court of Thorns and Roses series.
Ooh.
So I want to start cosplaying a couple of the characters from those books. They are to be determined. I'm not too sure. I guess I'm just a little too indecisive because I love every character in those books.
Awesome. brain melting out of ears. Uh, so you brought up TikTok. So since it is a newer, some might say more controversial because of news and nonsense, uh, platform, why did you start using it in the first place?
I think for a lot of reason why a lot of people did a couple years ago was because of COVID and
Mm-hmm.
quarantine. At the time I started using it, I think right before quarantine, before COVID was even like announced a thing, probably the end of 2019. I just started kind of dabbling in it. I had a lot of friends that went to cons and they were like, "Oh, you need to check out this app." Because the only time I had ever cosplayed was at a con. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know that there really was a platform to be able to do it all the time. So I started kind of breaking into it and I discovered a role play like OC tag that was very popular at the time called a Sunderland. That was by the Azrai. Fantastic creator. But it was just kind of like post-apocalyptic fairy tale characters and everything like that. And so I was like, it was my first time making an OC, being in that kind of realm of cosplay. So I created a character and I ended up meeting just so many amazing people.
Mm-hmm.
People I now live with 3 years later, which is absolutely crazy. But I just wanted to kind of find a little bit more of an escape for cosplay and to be able to do it more. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
licensed cosmetologist and a makeup artist and a SFX makeup artist. So I don't really get to do that stuff all the time, like kind of like really dive into like the costuming and the props and all of that. So just kind of like a really nice outlet. I definitely heavily used it when we were in quarantine.
Yeah.
That was just like pumping out characters left and right and like going to Goodwill and closet cosplaying and upping that. And then when I have a little bit more money because I was working more because COVID was kind of dwindling down a touch, I was able to actually buy proper cosplays and then it just kind of spiraled after that.
Yeah, like I know that there was a big struggle at the time where like some people just didn't know what to do with either
Yeah.
people who started cosplaying like soon before, been doing it forever but couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why we actually started doing character interviews. So cosplayers have a reason to get into character, a reason to do different things in character, and it's still super fun to this day.
Oh yeah.
Um, and it's one of the things we offer here. Selling myself, selling my soul to the devil. Um, but so yeah, that time was very hard for a lot of people in general.
Mm.
And now we're gonna get on to more of a cheery topic because I made it worse. um, so shockingly, still on the topic of cosplay, what is the hardest thing about getting into one of your cosplays?
One of the hardest things getting into one of my cosplays.
Any
Uh,
of them, or one in particular that's extra hard, or however you want to take it.
Funny enough, Heisenberg is an absolute bitch to like get into and be in throughout the whole day because the man's likes his accessories and his accessories are heavy. I mean, I'm wearing the first time I wore it was I went to Umicon in Detroit with Dark Men of the Gone back in it was Halloween weekend of 2021, I believe. And the man's is wearing khakis, a full button down shirt, a trench coat, combat boots, and he's wearing like a giant weighted scale, proper like hook scale. He's wearing like a World War II flash radio flashlight. He and like a giant hammer, hat, everything. So I would say like that one being one of my favorite and coolest cosplays that I've ever done. I have the most body aches and headaches by the end of the day, especially wearing a wig and trying to wear that Crocodile Dundee hat. all day.
I'm getting warm just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Anything
That's
thick and layered. Um. So the next thing is the stereotypical YouTube thing of don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon. If you have any questions for our lovely guest here, put them in the comment section below, and don't forget to follow them on all the social media platforms. There'll be a way to get to most of them in the description below. Um. So yeah. Um. Is there anything extra you want to promote here?
I am currently finishing up the build of my PC, so hopefully within the next few months I will start Twitch streaming again. And I'll probably have a day a week where I'm doing an in-person cosplay
Ooh.
stream and everything right now. I keep seeing nothing but Baldur's Gate 3 and I am just dying to cosplay a female Asterion, especially because the voice actor that voices Asterion is also the same person that voices Lord Carl Heisenberg, Mr. Neil Newbon. Love him. So, yeah, all of my socials are the same CJCosplayy with a Y. Well, two Ys, excuse me.
I was about to say, how else do you spell cosplay without a Y? It's like with like an
Two
I
Y.
E. Um, or two Y's, yeah. Um, this next question is coming from a past guest on if uh past guest who was on the show, a Shannon Carruthers. You're going to be the star of a movie. That's not even the question. That's just fact for this question.
Okay.
Who would you want your co-star to be, and what type of movie or genre of movie would it be?
Ooh. Okay, I have the co-star in mind because he is my favorite human being in the entire Matthew Lillard. Um, love him. I have like a signed autograph from him and he's just the absolute love of my life. But I would it's hard because I would either want to be in a horror movie with him or I would want to be in like just a shitty little rom-com with him. Like regardless of who he plays. It's like he's either the killer or like my bestie or he's just like the next door neighbor or like my boss and like I don't know, but like Matthew Lillard in like one of those two.
Nothing in the middle. The two extremes.
Just two extremes. It's always yeah, it's just a horror movie or a comedy movie. One of the two.
Well, speaking of horror movies, and ironically Matthew Lillard,
Mm-hmm.
um, this next question is also coming from a different past guest, and since I brought
Mm-hmm.
up horror, you can probably guess who it is, but it's from Dark Me the Gone.
Love it.
Who would you be in a movie? Like, what stereotypical character would you be? And I have a list of them if need be, but
Ooh, in a horror movie?
mm-hmm.
Mm. Well, wishful thinking. I would love to be the final girl.
Mm-hmm.
And because it's just like common sense to like don't go in the dark basement, like don't answer the phone even though there's no power and it's a house line, like, and it's raining, don't do that. Realistically I feel like I'd end up being like collateral damage neighbor number 3. Like I would just be like Michael Myers is just plowing through houses and I happen to be in one of them. Like
Yeah.
realistic probably be what happened. But in my mind I like to think I would be the final girl. Just kicking it covered in blood Carrie style at the end of the movie.
I definitely agree. Like, or the killer. I
Or
yeah.
yeah. Like
You and Matthew Lillard in a rom com, but you're both just killers.
yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Combine the two extremes.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're just a little dynamic duo.
Exactly. Uh, So the next question is coming from a Mr. Zoom underscore 2028. I promise you, there's also other questions that isn't from past guests. It's just how the order is going today. Um, it is a very long and complicated question. Bacon? Question mark.
Bacon, yes, but extra crispy. Don't get any of that slimy bacon shit anywhere near me. Disgusting. On a sandwich? Absolutely. Like crispy bacon on a sandwich?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Get that slimy, undercooked bacon anywhere near me. That's sociopath like mentality. You can't fight me on this.
Well, staying on the topic of food a little bit, and actually coming from the same past guest, peanut butter? Question mark.
Yes, and smooth. Again, crunchy peanut butter, sociopath behavior. I don't
Yeah.
want to like crunch a sandwich that's supposed to be nice and smooth and like pleasant. I don't want to like no. I don't want to feel like I have to no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'm not a crunchy fan.
No, I feel like it's just like there's a divided line of like
Yeah.
crunchy and it's you have to be on the smooth side. You have to be.
Yeah. Well, it's great that you brought up sandwiches for both of them because the next question is bacon and peanut butter? Question mark.
I mean, if the I could only see those two in a meal together is if you put peanut butter on the pancakes and there was a side of bacon. Then I will do that. Not a syrup girly at all, but I'll put peanut butter on pancakes, waffles, whatever.
Awesome. Have that
Eat
good
those
like
two. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah, have that good like soft pillow between them.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, maybe. I'll try anything once.
Yeah. I've actually did try this because I asked the question so many times. Um,
Right.
and I ate it kind of like an ants on the log type of thing, but with bacon and just a little bit of peanut butter on top. I didn't dip the bacon into the jar. I want to make that clear. That's not what I'm talking about.
A
Uh,
little bit for later inside the jar.
it's fine, just a little bacon grease. Um, but mainly it just tasted like whichever one I ate more of. Like that was, and if it was more bacon, then it tastes more like bacon, and more peanut butter, it tastes more like peanut butter. Um, would you ever be up to recording yourself trying it?
Yeah, I don't currently have either of those things, but I could allocate some somewhere. Is this the new bucket challenge, the bacon and peanut butter?
It should be. It should
You're
be.
challenging people left, right, and center.
Pretty much like because for episode 200, the current plan
Okay.
it might change because I've only gotten 2 videos so far. I got the second one today, so and we're recording 192, so like or no 193, so it's like maybe we'll be able to, but I'm just gonna put up a video of just people trying it because we ask it so many times. If I can get Mr. Zoom to do it too, because he asked the 2 questions that we combined into this monstrosity.
Yep.
But yeah, so hey, that's why I ask. Uh, um, but moving on and back onto the topic of conventions and cosplay, and,
Mm-hmm.
what the people want to hear, not about my preferences on bacon and peanut butter. Because I've heard that at least 90 times before. Uh, how many different conventions have you gone to before?
Um, I honestly haven't been too many just because of like the type of work I do. I'm always working, so it's a little bit harder to find time, but I've been to YumaCon in Detroit, where I'm originally from. I've been to OtakuCon in Detroit, Michigan Comic Con, Motor City Comic Con, and then this past March, April, I went to C2E2 for the very first time.
Ooh.
So a lot of them were very local when I lived in Michigan. I lived in the Detroit area, but I went to my first like out of state con, and that one was wild.
Awesome. Yeah, my mom actually is also from Michigan as well. Just fun facts, keeping the conversation rolling. But the next question is going to be: would you keep a pet zombie or would you kill it?
Would I keep a pet zombie? Is it somebody that I knew beforehand, or is it just like I just found them?
Either one. You can take one
Oh
for
God.
each.
I mean, I guess it also just depends on what type of zombie it is. Is it like cute little, like, I say cute little, but like cool little, like warm bodies?
Oh,
Are zombie? Or are we talking like Last of Us zombie? Because that's like, those are
the, the two extremes again.
two extremes again. I mean, I guess I, for self preservation, I wouldn't keep a pet zombie. I wouldn't.
Awesome.
Sorry.
Sorry, everybody that you know.
Sorry.
I'm not keeping you as a zombie.
No.
Um. So this is coming from a fan on Instagram, or hopefully still a fan. Watch, I keep asking all this, but like they unsubscribed like 10 years, like 3 years ago or something. Um, from a Charlie underscore Aronson 99. I used to say it wrong, so that's probably why they unsubscribed right now. What is one thing you regret doing on camera?
One thing I regret doing on camera. Oh God. Um, Taking off my wig when I have full body paint on and I'm like a singular color. Like the most cursed Teletubby like thing ever. And then also doing that while I'm on FaceTime with friends because you know what? They screenshot fucking everything to use it against me. So
Yeah,
probably if I like full body paint for a cosplay, taking off my wig like mid and
yeah.
then them be, just get that one little shot before I leave the frame.
When you're like,
Yeah, you're this off and you're still just covered, but it's just skin colored around and then you're just like a solid pink
yeah.
like everything else.
Oh god. Kind of like some like Gamora as well, like being like completely
Yeah,
green with the very dark hair.
yeah,
Like now it's like, oh, now you're very green. It's very
yeah.
apparent. Oh, sorry, it's getting very warm in my room, so I have to turn on the fan
Oh,
because I am
really fun.
dying. There we go. It's dying in here. I'm still thinking about the Heisenberg cosplay. I'm just dying of heat. Um,
I have a hammer right next to me because I was like, I don't know, maybe he'll ask about it. I don't know. This thing was a bitch to make. The bane of my existence. This thing is so heavy. I need to remake it to make it not so heavy.
I feel that because I actually have a less thick, but I have a cosplay for Jean Arc from Ruby, and he wears a sweatshirt with
Uh-huh.
armor over it.
Uh-huh.
So
That
it's
sounds
like,
about right.
and winter gloves.
Yeah, that sounds
Like,
about right. That, yeah,
I, I'm just looking like his weapon's like a sword. So like
yeah.
it's when it's foam, it's like very light, but it's like
Hmm.
I'm dying of heat. I'm
Hmm.
dying of heat stroke. Like
Yeah.
anytime I put him on, I'm like, one, God, this thing's gonna fall apart any second, and two, like I'm dying of heat. If I don't get something to drink now and take this off, he will suffocate me. uh,
Like I look so cool, but this sucks.
I am dying on the inside because like it's
Yep.
like a short sleeved hoodie, which
Oof.
already,
Yeah.
and then it's like oh fine, I have short sleeves, and it's like yeah, and then you have to put sleeves on, like bright orange, and then armor on your arms, and it's like
Uh-huh.
it's so hot. With winter gloves, I don't know if his are winter gloves, but it's like of course those are the ones that look the closest,
Yeah.
and it's like.
Like it. Yeah.
And California doesn't make it any better. Uh, it's like, yay! And then he got an outfit that's thicker. And I'm like,
Always
great.
do that. Get more clothes and you're like, what the hell?
You were on a beach. Why do you have more clothes on?
Or they drop a new look the day that you're at a con and you just feel like you're like,
So last week.
yep, yep. Because somehow somebody like con crunched the night before and they have the brand new
New one.
look before released.
God. Yeah, like there's some people who like get the outfit before their debut, and it's like,
Yep,
how, how did you
yep,
get clear enough images from like a 20-mile away picture or something? If
yep,
we're talking about like live action, stuff, but it's like, how did you do that from the 2 second screenshot you got in the
yeah.
intro? How did you finish that and
That
make it
was
correct?
that was pretty much what I had to do with Heisenberg before they like showed like proper photos and like people were uploading videos of like his like dialogue and everything on YouTube and TikTok. Like I was going off very grainy photos to find like the accessories because he wears very distinct accessories. Like one of them is it's a circa World War II like battalion flashlight thing. It looks like a little box. I thought it was like maybe like a little radio or something, but in
Mm-hmm.
actuality there's switches that go up and down on it that show different colors. So the colors mean different things. He's got like this giant weighted hook scale thing and then a giant compass and like the man like everything is just so meticulous and to the point because he is from like the World War II era and all of that. So
Yeah.
oh, trying to get things from a grainy photo, I feel that pain
Yeah.
so bad. And I definitely know I'm not the only one.
Yeah. Like it's crazy sometimes about
Yeah.
how fast. So the next question. Since we talked about cons lightly for a second, and also technically
Uh-huh.
just now, um, what are some upcoming cons you or will be attending that you're able to talk about?
Um, there's talks of going to Emerald City Comic Con next year. My younger brother just moved to Seattle. So, and he's been to it many times. And so there's talks of going to that. Um, Possibility of going to C2E2 of 2024. That's definitely a possibility. And then probably the end of next year, I'll probably be going to YumaCon in Detroit, which if you have not been, it is a seriously amazing convention.
Awesome. I've only been to two cons, period, so I have not gone to many. um, Next con, I have like a little section of just con-based questions, so we're just gonna go through those real quick.
Mhm.
Um, what's one of your favorite con memories? And this next part's coming from a past guest, a Justice last name, last name here. What is also your strangest con experience?
Um, my favorite memory,
Mm-hmm.
it was YumaCon, and to bring him up again, Heisenberg. At YumaCon in 2021, like the first night, it's a 3-day con, which is fun. And one of the first nights was kind of like a speed dating, but it wasn't. It was just for friendships, and they gave you a little sheet, and you just like walked around the room and you met different people at the cons like that were staying at the hotel and going to be at the con throughout the week and all of that. And myself and Minna, we met this amazing cosplayer named Mickey, and they were telling us like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna be cosplaying one of the daughters, like Lady Dimitrescu's daughter, like at the end of the week. And I was like, oh my god, that's amazing. I was like, I'm literally cosplaying Heisenberg. So it was the Sunday of the con. It was the last day because I had a photo shoot that morning outside the convention center. And so there's like kind of like this old rustic church that I thought would be kind of like a really good background for that. Mm-hmm. So had the photo shoot, and then we went to the con center, and Sundays are usually of the con that you go and you get all the stuff that you wanted to get. So that was kind of our plan. So I walk in and like people are recognizing me because I have a giant hammer. So people are going to stop you. Mm-hmm. Which was so cool. It was like it was my first experience ever being like stopped repeatedly at a con because of a cosplay. I was like, oh, this is so cool. Met so many amazing people. And then in the distance, I just see a giant long-legged woman. And I'm looking and I'm like, oh my God, that woman is dressed as Lady Dimitrescu on stilts. And so I get closer. I was like, oh, yeah, I definitely want to see if I can get a picture with her. Walking up closer, lo and behold, I see my new friend Mickey, and she's dressed as one of the daughters, and she's with her friend. That's their at name is Detroit Stilt Walking. They're fabulous. They do it for like cons and they do it for Renaissance fairs. They're fabulous. And I go up there and I was like, Mickey, hi. And they like see the cosplay for the first time and they freak out. And then the person that was cosplaying Lady Dimitrescu freaked out, and we were kind of in a spot where we were a little bit farther away from Artist Alley, and I shit you not, we probably got stopped for about 35 to 40 minutes of just continuous photos of people wanting to take photos of us all three together, or individual photos or video or whatever. And it was such a cool memory just to be able to like get other incredibly talented cosplayers, just like hadn't really met them beforehand besides one of them 2 days prior for a very short time. Mm-hmm. And just kind of have that cool, like, this is why we do it. Like the craft, like meeting people and like seeing other people being like, oh my God, like this is awesome. And know that your hard work was like, just really, it just kind of made everything worth it. Probably my strangest interaction. God. I don't know if I've had like I think I've been fortunate enough to not have like a super strange, like weird moment at a con, like myself personally. I've definitely witnessed a few things that were kind of questionable. I'm sure everybody has. I think, God, strangest moment was probably at Michigan Comic-Con in 2018. I went as like it was like my first time like really cosplaying at a con. I went as a femme version of Ron Weasley because I was meeting Matthew Lewis, who played Neville Longbottom. Ooh. Wonderful human being, so incredibly sweet. And I was going with a group of friends. And right next to his booth was David Henry, who played Justin on like Wizards of Waverly Place, and he was in Grown Ups 2, and he was in a bunch. But unfortunately, there was really nobody in his line. I think it was just kind of like wrong generation. Not a lot of people were there to see him. I mean, a lot of people were there to see like the OG, like Veronica Taylor for like Ash Ketchum. People were there to see a lot of the OG Power Rangers and Star Trek and all of that. And obviously one of the biggest lines was Matthew Lewis, who played Neville Longbottom. So we had kind of seen him in his booth in the morning where we got our autographs from Matthew Lewis. And then we went throughout our day, and then we had to come back later to do the photo op. So we go and do the photo op, and we're walking back, and I think we're just going to go one more time around to Artist Alley. It was a little bit of a smaller con. And I was with my friend and her cousin just kind of gets big wide eyes. And I look over, and my very good friend, we're walking, and she's just chatting with David Henry as we're walking back over to like where the booths are and everything. And he just like, he introduces himself. He's super kind, shakes my hand. And I had a thought later that I was like, oh no, he thought that it was all right because nobody was really talking to him, that like he could walk around the con, and I felt so bad. Um I was like, oh, I wish I had like just a little bit extra money to like go get his autograph and everything, but he was such a kind human being.
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably like the strangest thing of like, one of my best friends is just chatting with David Henry like it's nobody's business, just super casual, like he's just I mean, he is just a normal guy, but like when you grow up watching the Disney Channel, you're like, that's so random. Love that.
Yeah, it. Oh,
Oh, sorry.
I got really confused. I was like, no,
Sorry.
everything's going wrong. I was like, why did I move?
Tried to call me.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I know that I've never had a strange moment, but I know I am probably somebody else's strange moment because because like I went to my first con when I was like 10 or something, and I was way outside of the bathroom for my mom, and there's just like this Gorilla Grodd cosplayer doing the same thing with his girlfriend, and I just look at him, I'm like, can I take your picture? And I still have that picture on my phone, like deep in the the archives, but it's like I know for a fact like that's probably one of a strange moment for that poor person. Like, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
sitting. I'm just trying to wait for my girlfriend to come out of the bathroom. Why is this small human asking me for a picture? Uh,
Right.
but yeah. Just, sorry, not just keep thinking. It's like just like the
No,
moment they walk
like,
away.
and he's just probably like, okay, kid.
Okay.
It's like he's probably like, I'm tired. I want to go home. I'm waiting for my
I'm
girl.
a full monkey suit.
This kid's asking me for a picture. All right.
Yeah, it I know for a fact, like on a list of strange, I feel like I might be on there. um, but I know my favorite moment from any con was we went to, I think it was still in the Portland, yeah, it was still Portland, Oregon, and we went to go meet Sean Patrick Flannery one day because my mom just showed me Boondock Saints. My mom's a fan, and the next day we came back around to talk to him again, and he actually remembered my name.
Oh, that's amazing. That's
I
just,
was like, wait, you remember me? Like,
you're like, you get that feeling, you're like,
you know me? Oh my god! And then I also had Jason David Frank sing me Happy Birthday one year as well in Reno, and that was fun.
love that.
Like it was a meet and greet, so he technically made everybody sing me Happy Birthday, which was great. And he got a
Oh,
video of it too, so every year I can just go back and look at it. I actually have it recorded on my phone. Like I have it like screen recorded on my phone now, in case it gets taken down at any point for sad reasons. Uh, but yeah, those were like my two favorite moments, I do believe. And it was funny because we also went back to get his autograph, and the person was was advertising like, oh, there's gonna be a video up where like going over like, some of the things in the video, and he actually saying someone happy birthday. I was like, and she was like, wait, that's you. I'm like, yeah, it is me. Oh my god. It was that was a day. That was a great day.
I
Uh,
love that.
uh. Anyway, moving on from that a little bit. does the content that you put out into the world, is it the ones that you work the most, like the hardest on, that get the most attention, or is it like the ones that surprise you?
It's hard because I feel like I try to put the same effort into like all my cosplays, but I think it really depends on the fandom.
Mm-hmm.
Two very specific fandoms that I know I'll get traction for.
Mm-hmm.
Uh the first one would be obviously like the Wizarding World Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the first cosplays I think that like I hate saying like it like blew me up or whatever
Mm-hmm.
that attraction for was when I did Molly Weasley. I did like young Molly Weasley.
Oh.
Way far down. I would get like the most traction
Mm-hmm.
for her and stuff like that. And then Supergirl, definitely Supergirl's probably one of my absolute favorites. I have a lot of cosplay friends that do a lot of like DC, Teen Titans, all of that. So, recently just did like a couple group cosplays about a month or two ago where we did like some joint content, which was so fun. And then, My Hero Academia.
Mm-hmm.
I have a goal to cosplay all the moms. I'm 28. So it's a little harder for me. I feel like just me personally, not for every 28 or later 20s person, to cosplay like the students. I feel like it's just a little bit easier for me to cosplay like the adults and
Mm-hmm.
everything. So I like enough like uh I've done Deku's mom, I've done Bakugo's mom. My next one is Todoroki's mom. I've also cosplayed. I haven't cosplayed her on TikTok yet, but I'm just updating her wig. Nana Shimura, who is All Might's, who was the mentor to All Might. That one I debuted at YumaCon a couple of years ago. That one was super duper fun. Which I had Dark of the Gone. She cosplayed All Might for that one alongside me. So that one was super fun.
Awesome.
But yeah, they like probably like those three. It's like DC, Harry Potter, and like My Hero Academia are kind of like the three that like I know that usually get the most traction, but I guess it just really depends on.
Mm-hmm.
I try to do things to get me traction. Like if I genuinely love the character and I'm like, I already have everything to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. And with that type of thing, it's also like timing as well. You know, like when the newest, just going, because whenever the newest like I was gonna say whenever the newest Harry Potter book, I'm like, I don't think there's gonna be a new one anytime soon. Um, for a lot of reasons. But whenever the newest I guess season of My Hero would come out, like,
Yeah.
you know, if you happen to post something around that time, it's like, oh, that's gonna.
Yeah.
Or what the first character interview I ever did was for Ruby, and it was like I posted them stupidly the day before and the day after the new volume at the time came out, or new season came out. So
Yeah.
it's like two very like schedule heavy videos came out like as extras that week.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. So I had like 3 videos come out in 1 week. We don't do that anymore. But but I also want to ask. This is actually not on the list. I was going to move on from the list to do the other ones. But I'm just curious. Which Supergirl did you do? I'm just curious because I'm just curious.
Which one?
Yeah.
From you said Supergirl?
Yeah.
Oh, I did the oh my gosh, it's the Arrowverse version.
Yes.
Because I was cosplaying her a lot when the Arrowverse was very big. on
Mm-hmm.
TikTok. I had a lot of fun. Unfortunately, like one of the TikTok creators that was known for being Barry Allen, I guess some stuff happened and everything. So he isn't really doing cosplay that much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
No, I started doing uh Supergirl because I love the Arrowverse.
Mm-hmm.
Love the Arrowverse so much. Um, Stephen Amell, love him. Melissa Benet, love her. Like, um, I love how they just integrated all
Mm-hmm.
of that
Yeah.
together. Like they did it so seamlessly, and I'm like, why can't they do that for the movie? It's like the big, huge production of. Why can't they do so organically like they did it for the shows? It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
Um, but I honestly, and that's probably one of my most comfortable cosplays. It's one of my favorite cosplays. It is just the suit. It's a lycra suit with like a very thin cape that I got from Party City like years ago. And it's like you only see it kind of like from like chest up, really. So not really doing too much, but I had fun with that one.
Yeah.
I had fun with that one. That one's probably, I would say, one of my favorites because a lot of my, like I said earlier, a lot of my cosplay friends cosplay DC characters. So a lot of like the Teen Titans, like Batgirl, um, Starfire, Terra, Raven, Beast Boy, all of that. Like, so we've got like kind of like a fun group.
Awesome.
Mhm. I would love to upgrade her and get like a proper
Attire.
cosplay. Like, probably be the one that I like spend like really good money on somebody, like to commission somebody to make that.
Yeah. Actually, I haven't. I actually have not seen the last episode of Supergirl yet. I've watched
Mm-hmm.
all of it. And I'm just like, it's not over yet.
Yeah, watch the last season. I refuse. I refuse to watch the last season of The Flash. Refuse to watch the last season of Arrowverse, and the same goes for Supergirl. Like,
Yeah.
nope, I don't want to do it.
It's
I
not
don't.
over. It's fine. Oh god. Um. Movies. Oh my god. Sorry. Like that. That. I feel like that's gonna be a conversation for like after we're done because I could get into like a
Yeah.
longer conversation. uh, but now we'll go on to the final four questions, which are not on my list. Because
Okay.
I just remember them. The first question is: do you have any questions for me as an individual or about the show in general?
Um, why did you start wanting to cosplay or interview cosplayer specifically
Well,
or influence kind of specifically?
um, so originally, the channel was called the demons behind the people behind the TikTok demons, and I was because long names work for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Because long, overly complicated names that not even the host can remember half the time always works.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and
Unless you're.
so that was like the original idea was cause like we're gonna interview all because like me and the person who used to be my co-host. We were very heavy into the OC demon. We're edgy as shit type. Like me and my friend were like, we're super edgy. Oh my god. Um, so like mainly interviewing people who did demonic, so on and so forth OCs. But then we're like,
Mm-hmm.
this is very narrow. Nobody's gonna answer us. A lot of people did. Secondly, very narrow field. Let's just explode that, and we did. And we started interviewing cosplayers who we followed and liked, or just saw on the TikToks and all that. Then we went into YouTubers, Twitch streamers, or YouTuber singular. uh, Twitch streamers,
Mhm.
um, and so on, and artists, and so on and so forth. And yeah, that's kind of just how. And we just because I enjoy giving um, a voice to people who don't always use other social medias, or people who just need the extra exposure to get out into the world, and so they can see, like, they already have like a foot into the door if they ever want to do something on YouTube or something like that. So,
Right.
and also connections with other people as well.
Yeah.
Um, because mainly with the character interviews, that's like with like me and like four cosplayers, or two, three, or four cosplayers, which is that's fun trying to schedule. Um, 5 different time zones. Everyone has different schedules, and I
Mhm.
cry. Uh, but just it's connections and trying to help people get the recognition that they deserve and everything like that. That's primarily why we started and why we moved, like why we're doing cosplayers and all that fun stuff.
Mhm. Love that. That's awesome.
Do you have any other questions for me or the show in general?
No, I don't. I feel like you've been very transparent about it, and I love that.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, now we're going to go on to the final three. I'm not going to say it every single time, I promise. Um, First is, would you ever like to return to the show in the future, either for different program, or to do this type of thing again?
Absolutely.
Awesome, because I have 18 more things scheduled. Uh, in 6 different cosplays. Ready, set, go. And we have 5 minutes to record them. Um,
Yep.
done. If only it was that quick. Uh, the next question is, who would you like to see on the show in the future?
Ooh. Um, I would love to see um oh gosh, it's like really hard to pick. I'd love to see my best friend and roommate at Chaotrix, um, or Jimbo the Himbo. On many other things. They are an incredible cosplayer and an incredible artist. They've done many a Demon OC, and they are just a crazy, amazing like body painter. And they are just the most chaotic and wonderful human being. Another one would probably be the name on TikTok is Elizabeth Cronin. Um, she does a lot of Batgirl content.
Ooh.
She's done a lot of content. Love her. She's like my Batgirl. And then the other one would probably be um uh uh Little Indian Hufflepuff. She is a fabulous cosplayer. She's a fabulous Starfire. She's also my Starfire. Um, and she's an amazing Nightwing. Oh my God, her Nightwing cosplay is just phenomenal. So, like those three people, 100%.
Awesome. Um, I'm very happy to hear that, and I will definitely be sending out messages to people and hoping that people answer me and my weird cryptic message. That definitely doesn't look like a scam. Um, um, Lastly, do you have any questions for a future guest?
Ooh. Um, oh, I always want to know if you could turn any one of your OCs um into a D&D character, like what class would they be? Like what type of player would they be? All of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then also D&D related. If you could have like six of your favorite characters from various shows, movies, video games, like in a D&D campaign together, like who would be the DM and then who would be like the other five players?
Oh yeah.
Like, and not necessarily in like a cosplay sense. Like it could be like Joe from Last of Us meets like Ariana Grande in Sam and Cat. Like I don't know.
That
Just like I don't know. Like just various people.
and
Like I
like
always
oh no, I was gonna say and Cat's the DM. But like, and with like all these like super dark other characters, and then like Cat's the DM or something, so
yeah,
they don't know what to do with
yeah,
like cupcakes and unicorns or something.
probably.
Uh, and I love how you said OC turning into a D&D character because I've
Yes.
actually done that, and I'm currently playing him in my D&D.
Love, love that.
And because I had it, I was like, huh, I can use him. He is a very empty character right now. I can use him, and he is a warlock and also necromancer, trying to not be evil.
I love I love that.
And
Um
right now we're
yeah.
in like the chapter where like we're like really going into his back into like his nonsense, and it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I created a demon. And like he never was shy about that either. He said that like 20 times before we
Yeah.
actually got to this place, and like and everybody just like treats him like a crazy old man. One of the players is
Yep.
actually getting him a leash.
I
Like a
love
baby
that.
leash.
Love that. Like little backpack leash. Like
Exactly. And it's like, I love that. He despises it.
love that.
And it's like this giant blue Goliath who is like, who needs this because I don't know how. Like all my scores are lower than theirs, and he's just the fucking slipperiest, skinniest old man. Just cannot be like grappled. He just slips out of your fingers. It's like, get back here, you.
Usually what happens, there's an ongoing joke in my D&D group. We're coming up on the 2-year anniversary of our campaign in January.
Mm-hmm.
And we have this thing where we like to name, like bring bands and musical artists from like obviously us
Yeah.
into the campaign. So like instead of Girl in Red, we have Lady in Rouge.
Ooh.
And there's just like posters around. Like it's just like it's just like a little joke that we put like right in it.
Yeah.
And it may pop up like 16 sessions from now. But like the note takers will be like, I know what you're talking about.
God, I love that because like in the chapter we're in, like my DM was like, okay, make some characters for me. I'll do the rest. I'm like, perfect. Freddy Fazbear, uh, Freddy Fazbear, Eddie Munson from Stranger Things. Like,
Yep.
I just kept like there's just a list of like references, and the DM's like, I don't know half of these references, and it's like that's fine.
Yep.
Oh god, and like they're like, okay, give me some NPCs. So I just like listed like characters from like Vampire Diaries, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, just like anything I could shove in there.
Absolutely love that.
Man, it's hilarious because like there's a vampire slayer in a love triangle with two vampires. There's also like a succubus or a siren or whichever one we put. I kept on forgetting. In love with two vampires and a werewolf. It's like, and there's also Twilight in there too. And it's like anything I could shove in there, I did. Because the
Love.
town is full of monsters. It's just a town
Oh,
of
I
monsters.
love that.
It's basically like where they hide, so they're not hunted. And the primary villain runs the blood bank, which is a place where you can put your spare blood.
I love to hear it. I love
It's
that.
great. It's great. And it's actually another one of my OCs who runs it. And it's so great. It is. But carry on. That's actually all my questions. So I want to say thank you so much for being here and letting me poke and prod at your life of cosplay.
Thank you for having me. It was a lot of fun.
I'm so happy to hear that. And thank you all for watching. Don't forget to do stereotypical YouTube things. Don't forget to follow lovely guests on all social media platforms. And at least I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.